Wisconsin, and the world. This is TMJ4 News at 4.
Good afternoon. Welcome to TMJ4 News at 4. I'm Susan Kim.
And I'm Steve Chamraz. Right now at 4, the Board of Government, which has oversight of the Milwaukee Public Schools Board of Directors and the superintendent, is getting ready to hold a news conference.
And this news conference comes one day after Superintendent Keith Posley's resignation and just a few hours after the district's comptroller left his post. All of this while the board deals with some major financial issues. We are waiting for that news conference to begin. We understand members are coming out into the room. If we could take a live picture of where we are, we're at MPS headquarters here. You can see the microphones at the stand as we get ready to hear from the Board of Governance about issues that have really plagued MPS for the last several months.
And the Board of Governance is these are people we do not hear from often. That just gives you a sense of where we are with Milwaukee Public Schools. Typically, it's the superintendent and the school board of directors who are out front. Given the issues with the superintendent and the Board of Governance has been asked to step in and assume authority in a case like this. We're told they're just entering the room right now. We're waiting for them to come over to that podium. To bring you up to date on the event of today, the comptroller for the Milwaukee Public School District is no longer with MPS. We got a statement from a spokesperson for the district saying that the comptroller position is open. They would not say, the spokesperson for MPS, whether the comptroller was fired or left, only that position is now vacant. And the comptroller is responsible for creating many of the documents that are at the center of the current financial problems that Department of Public Instructions is waiting for, like that large annual report that's 8 months overdue. That comes from the comptroller. And again, that position in the district is now open.
Yeah, the DPI, which is a state organization, saying that MPS had to have these documents in last September and had been waiting for them, and then got to the point where the department was threatening to withhold state funding. And so then it becomes a big deal that could impact a lot of districts. So we are still waiting for the news conference to begin. But in the meantime, we are going to move on to another really big story that has hit today here in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, we'll come back to the MPS crisis in a bit. Right now, we want to get to another breaking story this afternoon. This coming to us from Dodge County. That is where criminal charges have been filed against the former warden of the Waupun Correctional Institution and 8 other prison employees.
That former warden is in custody. Those charges filed today are connected to the deaths of 2 inmates who died at the prison. Charges include misconduct in office to abusing inmates. Now, over an 8-month span, a total of 4 Waupun inmates have died. During a news conference today, Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt said the first died by suicide. Inmate 2 died of a fentanyl overdose.
The 3rd inmate died of a stroke, and the 4th died of maltreatment by staff, dehydration, and malnutrition. This death was ultimately ruled a homicide.
Water appears to have been shut off for significant periods of time, leaving the decedent without water for a significant period of time. It gets worse. Correctional officers failed to feed the decedent 9 out of 12 meals over a 4-day period.
And these are the 9 defendants who face charges today. Now, the Department of Corrections says they have been fired. Some held prominent titles like warden, nurse, correctional lieutenant, and correctional sergeant. The state says more than 20 others remain under internal investigation and that more charges could be coming.
Megan Kolb tells TMJ4 she's become an advocate since her father died inside Waupun.
Our Mary Jo Ola talked with her today, and Mary Jo joins us live from outside of the Dodge County Sheriff's Department. Mary Jo, good afternoon.
Hi there, Susan and Steve. Megan Kolb was full of mixed emotions today as she waited to see what the Dodge County Sheriff would reveal this afternoon. Now, Megan says her father is Dean Hoffman. She says that he suffered from mental health issues through most of his life and died by suicide inside that Waupun Correctional Institution on June 29th, 2023. Hoffman's family says he wasn't getting his medications or care while he was there. Now, the Dodge County Sheriff did not name the 4 inmates who died at the state prison between June 2023 through February of this year. However, the sheriff did reveal that his investigation found a DOC staff did not keep accurate records of showing medication was distributed when it came to an inmate who died by suicide that same day, June 29th, 2023.
If an entry from a prior medical pass was missed, correctional officers would enter inappropriately, refused, or not appropriate at this time, so they could bypass that past one to get to the next distribution point, which is certainly against DOC policies.
What do you hope comes out of this?
I really hope that there are charges brought against, those responsible at the Waupun Correctional Facility. There's clear neglect happening in there, and it's a dire situation right now. And so I really hope that their investigations prove all of the allegations me and the other family members have brought up.
Now the sheriff says in that June 29th death there were policy violations, but they did not rise to a criminal level. They were addressed instead with the State Department of Corrections. Now, I should mention the Hoffman's family does have a separate lawsuit against the Department of Corrections as well as other individuals they believe were involved in his death. In Dodge County, Mary Jo Ola, TMJ4 News.
Mary Jo, thanks.
Back here in Milwaukee, the man charged with killing and dismembering Sade Robinson will not get a laptop in jail to review evidence in his case.
A judge ruled this morning on that request from lawyers for Maxwell Anderson. They said this would help prevent further delays in the case, adding they have a terabyte worth of discovery to review. This is an ask the judge ultimately denied.
So I think on balance, while it might be slightly more efficient, that the institutional concerns outweigh giving Mr. Anderson a computer. So I'm going to deny that request.
Sade Robinson was there today, and we're seen nodding in agreement with the judge's decision. The court also unsealed the search warrant on Anderson's home for both the prosecution and defense. It is not known when the public will be able to see that warrant.
In Waukesha County, the sheriff's office needs volunteers. They want to continue to search for 16-year-old Isaiah Kramer. He has been missing since February. Isaiah is 5'10", 220. He was last seen wearing dark sweatpants and a dark hooded sweatshirt. The sheriff's office is looking for volunteers. They plan on searching for Isaiah on Saturday.
So volunteers must be at least 18 years old and have a photo ID. The sheriff's office will be assisting the search and says the area that they're searching is rough terrain, so volunteers should dress accordingly. Volunteers should plan to meet at Big Bend Elementary School to register by 7:30 Saturday morning. Now,
back in February, Isaiah's family says he was staying at a residential treatment center in Vernon dealing with mental health issues. His mother had seen him the night before he went missing. The family added he requires daily medication. He did not have that with him when he vanished. If you have information, if you've seen Isaiah, please call the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. That number is 262-446-5090.
All right, Storm Team 4 now. Let's take a live look outside. It's dry today.
The sky,
look at that.
The sky almost an autumn blue today.
Looks nice. Nice change from all the clouds, right?
Yeah.
Do you have rain still in the forecast?
There is rain in the forecast,
okay.
Yes, later tonight. We've got a couple of hours to go before that rain moves in, but good news is the rain's not going to be too heavy tonight. We've got to enjoy a couple hours of sunshine here after our round of showers early today. Some fair weather cumulus clouds as we take this live view in Milwaukee. Right now, it's pretty warm outside, still feeling summery. 80 degrees. That's our high temperature so far in Milwaukee this afternoon. Just a little bit breezy out there. Sounds like we're ready for that press conference.
Yep. Thanks,
Susan,
Kristen.
Steve,
yes, thank you. We'll get back to you in a moment. Let's take a live look at Valit as that news conference is just about to get underway.
This is the Milwaukee Public Schools Board of Governance. They oversee the board of directors and the superintendent. This is a spokesperson for the district here who is also now assisting the board of governance. Let's listen in.
This whole time, and now you're saying just 2?
Good afternoon. My name is Marva Herndon, president of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors. First and foremost, I'd like to reiterate that our top priorities are our families, our students, and our staff. Our students, staff, community count on MPS to prepare our youth for success in higher education, post-education, opportunities, work, and citizenship. This is our mission and our guide as we navigate any and all situations. We realize there are a lot of questions right now, and we're happy to provide information today. Regarding the DPI communication, we, of course, take this matter very seriously. The district continues to make progress in submitting reports to the state. Our staff has been working around the clock in partnership with the Department of Public Instruction, our financial consultant, our auditor, to get this work done. On Monday, June 3rd, the 23-24 budget data was submitted to DPI. We're now waiting for them to review and comment. Next week, we will meet our auditors to determine next steps in certification of the district's annual audit. As this work is being completed, the district is ensuring these issues do not happen again. The district is ahead of schedule in its work to submit a corrective action plan. A working draft was submitted to DPI this afternoon for review. We anticipate that the final draft will be accepted soon. People have asked why and how we've experienced these issues. I can tell you we're investigating and we will provide updates as soon as we're able to do so. The district will expedite this project to ensure these challenges are fully resolved. Until then, we will continue to meet with all of our stakeholders. And now I will introduce Director Gokul Gandhi, who will share an update on the district's search for a superintendent.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jilly Gokul Gandhi. I'm the Vice President of the Milwaukee Board of School Directors. First, I'd like to echo President Herndon's commitment to our students, families, and community. Their success continues to be our North Star. We have listened to our community's concerns and are taking actions to make things right to chart a new course forward. As you know, on Tuesday morning, the board accepted the resignation of Superintendent Keith Posley. The board is now searching for an interim superintendent. We intend to consider possible candidates during an executive session next week. After that meeting, a list of names of any potential candidates will be shared. Once a superintendent is in place, our intent is to launch a national search for a new permanent superintendent to lead the district in the long term. Until an interim superintendent is selected, Regional Superintendent of the Southwest Region, Eduardo Galvan, will lead the district and its day-to-day operations to support our children and families. In the interest of full transparency, we want to tell you that the position of comptroller is now vacant. MPS will launch a search to fill this position as quickly as possible. I'm sure you understand the district cannot comment on personnel issues. I also understand there are still questions related to the passage of the 24-25 proposed budget. It is the board's intent to consider action on that item next week. We know that our employees want to know what resources will be in place for them for advance of next school year, and we are committed to providing that information as soon as possible. An update on this information will be shared on Friday. We want to remind you that we are committed to transparency and accountability. As a part of that commitment, we want to thank everyone who speaks and otherwise engages in our board meetings. We appreciate your concern and your high level of interest and honesty. Thank you.
Was the comptroller fired? If so, anyone else with the finance department, will they be fired or disciplined?
All right, so we have time for our two questions.
If you're asking for transparency and you're committed to transparency, why are you censoring the media and limiting us? You're 10 minutes late to a press conference. Why are we only allowed to ask 2 questions each? You both just said.
They're standing here.
Nicole, you're not elected. They are. Can we hear from the elected
And you said that all of our questions had to go to the Board of Governance, not you.
Okay. Nicole will pick 2 individuals to answer questions. So, Kendall, go ahead, please.
Is the district considering decreasing its tax levy to residents?
The district is focused on getting these documents to DPI. That is our super focus right now.
So is it considering decreasing the tax levy?
The question of the referendum and the question of what's happening now are 2 separate questions, Kendall. I'm
asking about the referendum.
Yes, and so I'm going to answer that for you.
Thank you.
So the referendum is a separate question. The district is still in need of those resources to fill what we would be in, which is dire financial straits, right? And so that's a completely different thing. Right now, we're hyper-focused on providing these documents to DPI.
You said you wanted to be transparent. Was the
Nicole,
comptroller
do you want to
fired?
take another question? You want to take
All right, so we have time for one more question.
One more question. We haven't even asked questions. We haven't even asked questions. You guys said that you did not know about these documents.
Talk a little louder.
When do you expect the audit will be done, and what has slowed it down to this point?
Yeah, I think that the audit will be done in a timely fashion. As you know, Todd Gray, who has impeccable credentials, has been brought in. He is working. He has been here maybe 72 hours, and in that time, we already have the pathway to submit a corrective action plan. We've submitted a set of data to DPI and are waiting for review and comment. So we're still waiting on a more fully fleshed out timeline for that, but we intend to have updates for you within the next couple of days.
Several board members.
Can
I raise my hand?
You should have known more sooner.
Thank you very much. So we're going to have another update on Friday afternoon. So
Several of you guys have said that you did not know about these financials. There are documents from 2022 that show that you guys had financial discrepancies 2 years ago. Why are you hiding from the media? Residents and employees and staff members and taxpayers are calling for your transparency.
Please.
Don't complain when we show up at people's doors.
And that slam door right there saying volumes. After promising transparency with the taxpayers and the public, the Milwaukee Public School Board of Directors spoke for about 7 minutes and took only 2 questions, while there are probably hundreds of questions swirling about what has happened at MPS over the last few years.
And I do see that our Jenna Ray, she is the one who was asking those numerous questions of members of the school board at that news conference. Is Jenna available just to talk with us for a few minutes here about just your perception of what it was like in the room and really the lack of answers that you received to your questions this afternoon, Jenna?
Susan, unfortunately, this is something that we prepared for. Myself and other media members have been asking questions for the last week, and I came into this meeting expecting Milwaukee Public Schools spokespeople to limit and censure the media's questions and timing. They showed up I think it was exactly 9 minutes late to their own press conference. Again, we were only allowed to ask 2 questions, but we couldn't even get down the line to even ask those questions. One of the questions that I've been getting from several viewers who I've talked to and that I plan to ask today was, why is the board insisting that they did not know about this financial mess? We just found out today that there are documents from Milwaukee Public Schools that show within the last 2 years they had financial mishaps. Their audit showed that they did not provide financial statements, they didn't properly budget state and federal funding, and a lot of other discrepancies that they're now trying to figure out. And Susan and Steve, we're working, again, trying to get some more answers, but obviously we were cut pretty short here.
If we're lucky, MPS will let us ask 2 more questions on Friday, Jenna, I guess.
Jenna Ray reporting live for us from MPS headquarters. Jenna, thanks so much. Obviously, Jenna has been on top of this story and asking really what the school board members need to realize is Jenna is asking questions for the public, the taxpayers, the parents who have questions about what is going on with the financial documents and needs at MPS, and really didn't get much today. And we will not stop. Our coverage of the MPS crisis will continue on TMJ4 News at 5. Jenna Ray then will dive into MPS documents that show the board knew this day was coming for years, and the warning that came from one district leader as he walked out the door in 2021. That's at 5. More news coming up after a break. Welcome back, everybody. It's Kickstands Up on Saturday when Ride with Pride takes over the streets of Milwaukee. All motorcycles and all riders are invited to the world's largest LGBTQ+ motorcycle run. And this afternoon we are joined live by Matt Fitzgerald and Adrian Johnny Wade with Pride Rides Wisconsin. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks for having us
this afternoon. All right, Adrian, let's start with you. I mean, why is this ride so important?
This ride is important because, one, it increases visibility for the LGBTQ+ community. A lot of motorcycle riders are LGBTQ+. We tend to hang out in conventional heteronormative spaces, but Pride Rise Wisconsin gives us a chance to be a part of a group that we can show up as our full selves in.
So this group dates back to 2018. Tell us about the origins. How did you decide you wanted to be able to ride with each other?
We started this group in 2018 after the first Ride with Pride event that was set up by our friend Cormac. We attended that event as attendees, and after the event was done, we thought, why can't we do this all the time? We need a group that everybody can come together and be a part of an LGBT inclusive motorcycle space.
And so what do people need to know if they're watching and they're like, oh, that sounds like a really great event on Saturday that I would like to be part of?
Well, you know, you can join the day of. You can pre-register. If you go to priderise.org, you can see the full registration there. It's $10 to register for the event. You have to have a motorcycle for this event because it's escorted by the police. But you can come and see us off. We'll announce the route closer to that date so we can hang out in the city where we're going to be. Also, if you do register early, you get a limited edition poker chip that goes with, which I lost between here and there.
Oh no!
But it's okay. But you can get one.
You got more.
All you gotta do is register early. So,
you said the route to be determined. You set off from House of Harley.
Yep. We set off from the Harley Davidson Museum.
From the museum. Thank you very much. Okay.
Come to the Harley Davidson Museum.
Harley Davidson Museum. Don't go to House of Harley.
Canal.
Okay.
And you can sign up that day.
You can sign up that day.
You start at 6th and Canal. What are places that you want to hit while you're out on a ride? What are the things that you want to make sure you see?
In past rides, we generally run through Lower East Side, Brady Street, Upper East Side, and then back down Lincoln Memorial towards Pride Fest. So,
I know you mentioned you wanted to have an inclusive event. Was there a feeling that it was not inclusive? I mean, in other rides or neighborhoods rides that you were part of?
Yeah, a lot of like the motorcycle events and rides that we've gone to, a lot of poker runs and charity benefits, they feel very not inclusive. They feel very like hyper masculine or homophobic even. So an event like this is very important to us.
Well, it's great. There's a space that is welcome to all. Again, Harley Davidson Museum. 6th and Canal, the place to go meet Matt and Johnny and everybody else that's going to show up for Ride with Pride. Again, it starts at the Harley Museum, registration 10:30 in the morning, kickstands up at noon. It'll all end at the Harbor Room.
And all month long, TMJ4 News is celebrating Pride Month by sharing the stories and experiences of Southeast Wisconsin's LGBTQ+ community. To see all of our stories, all you have to do is head to tmj4.com/pride.
A warm and sunny afternoon for us here. Temperatures in the 70s to around 80. It's 80 degrees right now in Milwaukee. A little bit of a breeze picking up out of the west. You're going to certainly notice that breeze as we head into tomorrow. As far as the humidity, the dew points, they're starting to come down. Yesterday when we looked at this map, those dew points were in the 60s to near 70. Today, this afternoon, they've dropped back into the 50s. They'll drop a little bit more as we move into tomorrow. The radar is quiet right now across southeast Wisconsin. We've still got lots of sunshine. We've got some showers, though, not too far to the west. Another cold front is actually going to move through as we move into tonight. And out ahead of that front, we've got a couple of showers and a couple of thunderstorms, just a little bit of lightning on this here. It's still about 55 miles away from the western edge of Fond du Lac County, but we're going to keep an eye on that. This could move in a little sooner than what we were thinking as far as the showers go. Also, I want to talk about some of the flood warnings and flood watches here. Right around Waukesha, in Waukesha County, then in Dodge County and back into Jefferson County. We've got 3 separate flood warnings, one for the Fox River, one for the Rock River, and one for the Crawfish River. These rivers are going to continue to run high, likely through at least the end of the week, and they may even rise even though things have largely dried out for us here. So do be on the lookout for areas of high water. That water moving faster than what we normally see it. Flood watches as well along parts of the Rock River in Jefferson County and the Fox River down in Kenosha County. So heads up, again, some high water still lingering. As far as the thunderstorms go, best potential for an isolated strong or severe storm will be to our north and west today. This low end outlook, low end risk does include parts of Fond du Lac and Dodge County. And as we look here at future forecast, you see as we head into the next few hours, again, I think we'll start to see those showers first up towards Fond du Lac, maybe Beaver Dam, even parts of Sheboygan County. And as we head through tonight, those will drop down to the south and east. So we do have another round of rain, possibly a couple of thunderstorms on the way, a few lingering showers overnight, and then we're back to largely dry weather by Thursday morning. Just a few isolated showers in the forecast on Thursday afternoon. They'll be pretty isolated. They'll pop up during the heating of the day, could get a couple rumbles of thunder. Breezy and mostly dry on Friday. We are bringing in scattered showers to the forecast on Saturday. But over the next few days, that rain is going to be really light, which is good news. We'll start to see some of this water receding.
All right, chance to dry out for a little bit here. Okay, Kristen, thank you. The Brewers are trying to leave Philly with a win.
It's been a couple of challenging days for the Bats out east. Rod Burke's joining us live with how Milwaukee is doing as there is a game underway right now, Rod.
That's right. Thanks, Steve and Susan. Today is the last chance for the Brewers to get a win in Philly after dropping the first 2 games of the series. We're going to go ahead and get into the action now. Aaron Ashby getting the start in Game 3 today for the Brewers, and it's been a long road back for him. Coming back from shoulder surgery, gets a strikeout to end the 2nd inning. But Ashby runs into trouble in the 5th when Nick Castellanos smashes a 2-run shot to left center. Right now, the Phillies are beating the Brewers 2-0 in the 6th inning. Way to Detroit for a game against the Tigers on Friday evening. First pitch for that game is 5:40 p.m. Let's move on to hockey with the Milwaukee Admirals, who are really up against it in their series against Coachella Valley. Last night, the Firebirds scored 31 seconds into the game. They went on to beat the Admirals 5-2, and they now lead the best-of-7 series 3-0. Game 4 is Thursday night at Panther Arena. So there's the starts at 7 p.m. That's when they drop the puck, and they really need a win. What do they say? 1 game at a time, right?
Well, the Admirals have shown when they have to win, they can win.
Yeah, but this is one of the best teams in the AHL, and right now they're the same team that bounced them out of the playoffs last season, 4-2 in that series. So you're down 0-3 in the series. You got 1 game at a time to see what they can do tomorrow night.
Oh, the hometown crowd. They got this.
Are you going to go?
No, I'll be working, but I'll be cheering from afar.
Oh, the game's at 7. You'll get off by then.
Okay. All right, well, I'll have to look at it. Thanks, Rod.
You got it.
Rod Burke's professional scheduler.
A well-known mural in Milwaukee of Brianna Taylor will be coming down.
What the owner of that building wants to replace this with and what he plans to do with that mural.
TMJ4 News at 4 continues.
4:36, these are your top stories this Wednesday afternoon. Senate Republicans voted today to block a bill that would guarantee access to contraception across the country. The Right to Contraception Act would enshrine into federal law the right for individuals to buy and use contraceptives like birth control pills and condoms. That failed in a 51-39 vote.
On day 3 of Hunter Biden's trial is underway. Defense attorney Abby Lowell is continuing his cross-examination of FBI agent Erica Jensen. After that, prosecutors will have a chance for redirect questioning. It's possible the court could also hear from Hunter Biden's ex-wife today. Hunter Biden faces 3 charges tied to the possession of a gun while using narcotics and has pleaded not guilty.
Tomorrow, the world will pause and remember the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Allied forces led by U.S. troops carried out the largest naval, air, and land operation in history on the coast of France. That invasion, one of the most effective but costly missions of World War II. 3,000 American soldiers were killed in just the first 24 hours of fighting.
This popular mural of Brianna Taylor here in Milwaukee is about to be taken down. Taylor was fatally shot by police in Louisville in 2020 during a botched raid on her apartment.
Brendan Jones is our downtown Milwaukee reporter. He spoke with the man who owns the building that mural is on, Isan Alta. He also spoke with Milwaukee couple Eric Jefferson and Violet Young, who say they are sad to see it go.
Since I moved to Milwaukee last month, I've driven by the Brianna Taylor mural on Locust and Holton several times. But the owner of the building tells me after years of it being up, it's time for it to come down. So I met him out here to ask why was that his decision and what he wants to replace it.
Isan Ada owns this building, but he did not paint the mural.
It was something that was
beautiful to me, you know.
He tells me he wanted to bring positivity to the Black Lives Matter movement, so he got an artist to create this mural of Breonna Taylor on Holton and Locust. He did the same for the George Floyd mural down the street on Holton and North.
There's constantly people coming, putting flowers, putting plants, just taking pictures, and sometimes just meditating here.
But Ada tells me it's time for it to come down. I broke the news to Violet Young and Eric Jefferson.
I don't want it to come down. It's nice right there.
The two are lifelong Milwaukee residents. They say the mural brings positivity to the community.
It's important to know that we do matter.
Ada tells me he wants a mural to support the nearly 2 million Palestinians in Gaza who've been displaced by war. Al Jazeera reports that at least 36,000 Palestinians have been killed since the October 7th attack on Israel. 15,000 of them, children.
It's been especially difficult and frustrating because our tax dollars are going to fund this genocide.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refutes the claim of genocide. Ada tells me he wants this mural to continue to be displayed, whether that's in the River West community or possibly with a family member of Breonna Taylor. So if you know a good place for it, reach out to us at TMJ4. Reporting in Milwaukee, Brendan Jones, TMJ4 News.
Brendan, thank you. Now, Brendan is our downtown Milwaukee reporter. He reports on stories that matter to you and your community. If you do have a story idea, connect with Brendan. His email is right there on your screen.
The new process for emissions test is raising concerns for some auto shop workers.
We're going to learn why they say it's not working when we come back.
It's something that impacts every driver in Southeast Wisconsin, the emissions test to renew your license plate. About 10 years ago, Wisconsin changed that testing process.